Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with me.
Neat.
Today we're going deep on affirmations and self-help through the work of the incredible Louise Hay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at excerpts from her book.
21 Days to Unlock the Power of Affirmations.
That's it.
It's kind of a roadmap for how to establish positive thinking
And
habits.
it covers a ton of really important areas of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like self-esteem,
Yeah.
health
Yeah. How can
relationships,
we leave those out?
and even prosperity,
All in 21 ways.
all in 21 days. So buckle up and get ready to unlock your full potential, everybody,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah. One of the things I love about Louise Hay is how simply she defines affirmations.
Yeah.
She says they're basically anything you say or think,
Yeah.
which, kind of makes you more aware of that constant stream of self-talk that we all have going on in our heads.
Oh, totally.
Because that self-talk is actually what's shaping our reality.
So it's not just about, taking a few minutes every day to recite some positive phrases.
Right.
It's about recognizing that every single thought we have has an impact.
Exactly.
Like if we're constantly planting negative thoughts, it's like we're creating this barren ground where it's almost impossible for anything positive to grow.
That's a really good way to think about it.
Right.
I've never heard it put like that before.
It's all about the soil.
Yeah. And what Hay says is that affirmations are actually tools
Oh, okay.
that we can use to kind of reprogram those thinking patterns.
Okay.
So when we replace negativity with positive statements, we're basically engaging in self-creation.
Interesting.
Or actively crafting the reality to desire instead of letting our negative thoughts run the show.
So I'm hearing that it's really about taking control.
Absolutely.
But she also mentions that just saying the words isn't enough.
That's a really important point.
We have to genuinely feel good while we're using them.
Yeah, if you're just mindlessly repeating affirmations without actually believing them or feeling them,
Right.
they're not going to have much of an effect. And complaining, she argues,
Oh.
it completely negates our positive efforts.
So ditching those life sucks moments
Right.
becomes pretty crucial if we really want to make a change.
Yeah.
It's like one step forward, two steps back.
Makes sense.
Right.
Consistency is key.
Totally. Okay.
Let's talk about self-esteem.
Let's do it.
Because that's super vital in Hay's philosophy.
Oh, absolutely.
She has this idea that babies are naturally confident.
Oh, I love that.
But then somewhere along the way, we pick up insecurities.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a sad reality of growing up.
Those moments where someone tells you you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
And it just totally crushes your spirit.
Exactly. And to counter those deeply ingrained beliefs, she suggests a really simple but powerful exercise.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's repeating the phrase, I approve of myself, over and over.
Hundreds of times a day.
Yeah, as many times as you can.
Wow.
Just saturating your mind with self-approval.
Does that strike you as a little...
I mean, it might sound unconventional at first, but the idea is to really disrupt those automatic negative thoughts.
Right.
That we often have playing on repeat in our minds.
And she even takes it a step further.
Oh, yeah.
She suggests looking into your own eyes in the mirror.
While you're affirming.
Yeah.
To amplify the impact.
It's like having this intense conversation with yourself.
It is.
But in a good way.
Yeah, a powerful way.
And then Hay doesn't shy away from talking about change.
Of course not.
She sees it as this inside-out process.
Meaning?
We have to transform our thoughts and our speech.
Okay.
If we want to see outward shifts in our lives.
I can see that.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense.
And significantly, I think.
Yeah.
She acknowledges that change can be really scary.
For sure.
She even talks about her own struggles with resistance, which, normalizes those feelings for the rest of us.
Definitely.
Like we're not alone in feeling that way.
And she uses this really great analogy to explain the process of change.
Okay.
She compares it to like decluttering a home.
Oh.
Where we replace or repair or discard.
The old mental furnishings.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Out with the old.
In with the new.
But she also mentions these things called healing crises.
Oh, no.
That can happen during transformation.
What are those?
It's kind of like when you detox from junk food.
Okay.
You might feel worse before you start feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
So change can be messy.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's for our own good.
It's like growing pains.
Right.
But for our minds and our spirits.
Exactly. And then she emphasizes this idea of letting go of the past.
Oh, okay.
Because she argues that dwelling on bygone events prevents us from fully experiencing the present.
Which is so true.
I know, think about how often you find yourself reliving past hurts or mistakes.
All the time.
Or even missed opportunities.
Oh, yeah, those are the worst.
It's so easy to get caught in that cycle of rumination.
It is, and I think this quote from Hay really sums it up.
Okay, what is it?
She says, "The past is over and done with and cannot be altered."
Powerful.
Yeah.
It's such a simple statement, but it's so profound.
It's a reminder to shift our focus to the present moment.
Where our power lies.
Exactly.
To actually create change.
Okay, so we have to let go of those emotional attachments
Right.
to past events.
And she even compares them to neutral memories.
Oh, it's
Like the clothes we wore in grade school.
I see.
Things we rarely feel emotionally charged about anymore.
It's like detaching ourselves from the baggage of the past.
You're right.
But what about those events that are just really difficult to let go of?
Mhm.
The ones that keep us up at night?
Yeah,
That's where forgiveness comes in, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Hay really emphasizes the importance of forgiveness,
Hmm.
especially when we feel like our anger is justified.
Which can be so hard.
It can, but she reminds us that everyone is operating from their current level of understanding, which is often influenced by their own childhood experiences.
That's such an insightful perspective.
It is.
It's not about condoning hurtful actions. It's about recognizing the complexities of human behavior.
Yeah, and ultimately,
Mhm.
Hay believes that forgiveness benefits the forgiver
Interesting.
more than the person being forgiven,
Right.
because it liberates us from resentment and anger.
So it's kind of like a selfish act,
In a way,
but in a good way.
that promotes healing and peace.
Interesting.
And, this leads us to her perspective on health,
Okay.
which is fascinating
Well, I'm intrigued.
because she sees the body as a mirror,
Oh,
reflecting our thoughts and beliefs.
interesting.
So if we're constantly criticizing our bodies, we're sending these really detrimental messages to ourselves.
So no more "I hate my thighs"
Yeah.
affirmation.
Right.
Got it.
It's about shifting our self-talk to one of love and acceptance.
And she compares the body to a dedicated servant.
Yeah, working tirelessly to maintain our health.
Even when we're not treating it very well.
Right, even when we're neglecting it or abusing it in some way.
So it's a reminder to treat our bodies with the same respect and love that we would offer to anyone else we care about.
Absolutely.
And she encourages us to view illness as a form of communication from the body. Like it's trying to tell us something.
Exactly.
Instead of just trying to suppress the symptoms.
Right.
We should be exploring the underlying causes.
Yeah, and trying to understand what our bodies are trying to tell us.
Okay, so we've covered affirmations, self-esteem change, letting go forgiveness, and this incredible mind-body connection.
But at the very core of Hay's philosophy
Yes.
lies self-love,
Okay.
which she calls the magic wand to dissolving problems.
Wow.
And she addresses a lot of the common objections to self-love.
Like what?
Things like criticism,
Mm-hmm.
feelings of unworthiness, past experiences that have made us feel unlovable.
It's like she's acknowledging that it's not always easy to love ourselves.
It's not, but she gives us this really simple but powerful exercise to help cultivate self-love.
Okay. What is it?
It's completing the sentence, I love myself because,
Okay.
in as many ways as you can.
I can see how that could be really powerful.
It is.
And she makes this important distinction between needing love and being needy.
Saying that self-love is the foundation for having fulfilling relationships with others.
So we can't expect others to love us
Right.
if we don't love ourselves first.
That's a really powerful message.
It is.
And it resonates so deeply with me.
Me too. And it naturally leads us to her thoughts on friendships,
Yeah.
which are really interesting.
I love what she has to say about friendships.
Tell me more.
She sees friends as mirrors,
Oh, okay.
reflecting back to us our own self-worth.
Interesting.
And they can also highlight areas where we might need to grow or do some work on ourselves.
So our friends can actually help us on our self-improvement journey.
Absolutely.
Wow.
She also quotes Ralph Waldo Emerson,
Oh,
who called friendship the nectar of God.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is.
It speaks to that non-judgmental support and acceptance that we find in true friendships. And she also encourages us to examine past patterns in our friendships
Okay.
that might be hindering us from creating healthy connections.
So it's kind of like detoxifying our relationships.
Yes.
Out with the toxic friends.
Not necessarily out with the friends themselves,
Yeah.
but out with the toxic patterns that might be present in those relationships.
Got it.
And then her insights extend to romantic love and intimacy as well, because those are such important parts of our lives.
They are.
And she emphasizes how much these relationships mirror back to us our own inner world.
Right. So if we're attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable
Yeah.
or maybe even abusive.
It's a sign that we need to look inward and examine our own beliefs and patterns.
Right, and she suggests that our romantic relationships often reflect the dynamics we had with our parents.
That's a really powerful insight,
It is.
and it can be really eye-opening to explore those connections.
Yeah, so if we experienced a lot of criticism or rejection from a parent,
We might unconsciously seek out partners who treat us the same way.
so it's about breaking free from those subconscious patterns
Exactly.
and making conscious choices to create healthier dynamics in our relationships.
And that starts with forgiveness.
Okay.
She really encourages forgiving our parents
Yeah.
for any hurt or resentment we might be carrying from the past.
Which can be really difficult.
It can be, but it's essential for healing.
And it allows us to move forward.
Yes, and create space for healthier, more loving relationships in our lives.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so Hay advises that we focus on self-love and clarify the qualities we desire in a partner.
Yes.
So it's about attracting love from a place of wholeness,
Exactly.
not from a place of neediness or desperation.
And she emphasizes the importance of preparing for love
How do we do that?
by nurturing ourselves,
Okay.
by being open to receiving love,
Yeah.
by believing that we are worthy of love,
It's not just about finding love.
Right.
It's about cultivating it.
and creating the right conditions for it to flourish.
I love that.
And her message extends beyond just romantic relationships.
Oh, okay.
She believes that everyone has inherent creativity.
I love that.
It's not something that's limited to artists or musicians.
Right.
It's a quality that resides within all of us.
We're all creative beings.
Exactly.
And she encourages us to embrace our unique talents.
Regardless of whether we consider ourselves artistic or not.
And she shares some really inspiring examples from her own life.
Yeah, she started her publishing company at 50,
Wow.
took up gardening at 60,
Amazing.
and began painting at 75.
It's incredible.
It's never too late to explore our creative potential.
No, it's not. And, she really challenges this notion that creativity is limited to certain pursuits.
Yeah.
She reminds us that it's an expression of who we are
At our core.
at our core, and it's something to be celebrated and nurtured.
Absolutely.
So this has been a really illuminating look at Louise Hay's work so far.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
and I'm already feeling so inspired
Me too.
to start incorporating some of these principles into my own life.
It's amazing how many valuable insights her 21-day program offers.
It is, and, it's not just about reading the book.
No.
It's about actually applying these concepts.
Right, taking action.
Yeah, making those small but consistent changes.
That lead to big transformations.
Exactly.
Welcome back to our exploration of Louise Hay and her incredible insights into affirmations and self-help.
I'm so excited to dig into some of the practical exercises she provides.
Yeah.
Because, we've discussed all these amazing concepts,
Mm-hmm.
but how do we actually put them into practice in our daily lives?
It's one thing to understand the ideas,
Yeah,
but it's another thing entirely to actually apply them.
totally. It's like
Yeah.
we're standing at the base of a mountain.
Yeah. Okay.
We know we want to reach the summit,
Yeah.
but we're not sure which path to take.
I love that analogy.
Right.
And Hay provides us with a trail map in a way
Okay, how so?
through these exercises.
Got it.
Remember the I approve of myself affirmation we talked about?
Oh, yeah?
She suggests repeating that countless times every day.
Saturating our minds with self-approval.
Exactly.
But what I find really fascinating is that she doesn't just say, think positive thoughts.
No, she goes deeper than that.
Right.
She encourages us to actively confront the negative thoughts that come up.
Which is so important.
Because those negative thoughts are inevitable.
They are.
We all have them.
Especially when we're trying to change ingrained patterns.
Right. It's about becoming aware of those deep-seated beliefs that might be holding us back.
And then choosing to challenge them.
Exactly. She uses the analogy of clearing weeds to cultivate fertile ground for growth.
Okay.
So we have to uproot those mental weeds, so to speak,
I love that.
to make space for positive change to occur.
And that's where mirror work comes in, right?
Yes.
Looking into our own eyes while we affirm those positive statements.
It might feel awkward at first,
I bet.
but Hay says it's a really powerful way to amplify the impact of those affirmations.
Interesting.
She also suggests using mirror work for forgiveness.
Oh, wow.
Imagine sitting in front of a mirror
Okay.
and expressing your hurt to someone who's wronged you, and then declaring, I forgive you and set you free.
That sounds so cathartic.
It is.
Like releasing a heavy burden.
And Hay acknowledges that forgiveness is a journey.
Yeah.
It's not always a one-time thing.
Right.
It often involves peeling back layers of hurt and resentment.
And she encourages us to be gentle with ourselves through that process.
Absolutely.
Patience is key.
It is.
And, speaking of complex emotions,
Yeah.
Hay presents this amazing exercise for releasing negativity.
Okay, tell me more.
So it could be tension or fear or anger or guilt,
Mm-hmm.
and it involves consciously relaxing different parts of your body
Okay.
while affirming, I am willing to let go, I release. It's
Hmm.
like giving ourselves permission to unwind,
Yeah.
both physically and mentally.
To create that space for healing.
Right. And I think this ties back to the concept of stress-free living, which
Absolutely.
she actually dedicates an entire day to in her program.
Wow. An entire day.
She really wants us to examine our priorities.
Yeah. Are we placing too much importance on external factors like wealth or status?
Right. Are those things truly bringing us happiness and fulfillment?
That's a big question.
They are, but they're important ones to ask ourselves.
He also reminds us that our breath is the most precious element in our lives.
Oh, I love that.
If we can trust that our next breath will always be there, why can't we trust that everything else we need will be provided as well?
Wow, that's such a profound reminder to surrender to the flow of life.
Yeah, and to release that grip of fear and worry that so many of us hold on to.
It's about trusting that we're being taken care of.
Exactly. And, this leads us to another fascinating exercise that Hay recommends.
Okay, tell me more.
It's visualizing ourselves achieving or possessing or becoming what we desire.
Oh, I love visualization.
Me too. They're so powerful.
And she emphasizes really immersing ourselves in the details.
Yes, like really feeling it.
The sights, the sounds, the feelings.
Even the reactions of other people.
So it's like creating this vivid mental movie
Exactly.
of our dreams manifesting into reality.
The richer and more detailed the visualization, the more potent it becomes.
That makes sense.
And she also encourages us to expand our knowledge
Okay.
through reading and learning from others.
So it's about being a lifelong learner.
Exactly. She views personal development as this ongoing journey.
A continuous exploration of the mind and its boundless potential.
Yes, and there's always more to learn and discover.
Always.
So this is starting to feel like quite a bit of work.
It is.
How are we supposed to fit all these exercises and practices into our already busy lives?
That's a good question.
Well, Hay emphasizes consistency over intensity.
Okay.
It's not about doing everything perfectly or all at once.
Right.
It's about making small, sustainable changes over time.
So it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And she suggests incorporating affirmations into our daily routines,
Right.
like writing them down, reciting them out loud,
Yeah.
even singing them.
Singing affirmations.
Not.
That sounds fun.
It's a way to make it more enjoyable.
Right, because who wants to just sit there and repeat the same phrase over and over?
Exactly.
It can get monotonous.
It can so make it fun, make it your own.
I love that.
She also suggests visual reminders like putting affirmations on mirrors or dashboards or desks.
Just surrounding ourselves with positivity.
Yes, and reinforcing those new beliefs we're trying to cultivate.
Okay, so we've got visualizations, affirmations, mirror, work forgiveness exercises, body relaxation techniques. But Hay also emphasizes the importance of releasing those affirmations once we've put them out there.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because constantly worrying about how they're going to manifest can actually block the process.
Oh, interesting.
It's like planting a seed and then repeatedly digging it up to see if it's growing.
Ah,
We have to trust in the unfolding of events.
so it's about letting go of control.
Yeah, and allowing the universe to work its magic.
I love.
And, Hay's teachings extend beyond just the individual.
Yeah.
She encourages us to find a purpose that contributes to the betterment of society,
Why?
the nation, even the planet.
It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
Exactly.
Our actions ripple outward, impacting the world around us.
And our purpose doesn't have to be this grand thing.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as bringing joy to one person's day.
I love that.
Or making a small difference in your community.
Right. It's about making a positive impact in whatever way feels authentic to us.
And Hay believes that the later years of life are meant to be filled with treasures.
Oh, tell me more.
Treasures like wisdom,
Yeah.
love,
Mm.
peace.
Beautiful.
It's about embracing aging,
Instead of fearing it.
yes, as a process of continuous growth and contribution.
What a refreshing perspective.
It is.
Because so often we hear about all the negative aspects of aging.
Right, the wrinkles, the aches, the pains.
Exactly.
But Hay reframes it. She encourages us to view our later years as a time of fulfillment and purpose.
I love that. And, her teachings really empower us to take ownership of our lives,
Yes.
our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions.
And to create the reality we desire.
It's a message of hope And possibility?
And it reminds us that change is always within reach.
Always.
Now, this brings us to another really important aspect of Hay's philosophy,
Oh,
the body-mind connection.
yes, we briefly touched on this earlier.
But I think it deserves a deeper dive.
I agree, it's such a fascinating topic.
It is, and Hay's perspective is really unique.
Tell me more.
Well, she doesn't just focus on physical symptoms.
Okay.
She explores the emotional and mental patterns that contribute to what she calls dis-ease.
So it's about addressing the root causes.
Exactly, not just managing the symptoms.
I'm really intrigued to learn more about her approach.
Well, Hay believes that our bodies are constantly communicating with us.
Okay.
Every ache, every pain, every illness is a message, urging us to pay attention to what's happening beneath the surface.
So it's like our bodies are trying to tell us something.
They are, and we need to learn how to listen.
Right. And instead of viewing our bodies as adversaries to be battled.
Yeah, like we're at war with them.
Right.
She implores us to see them as allies.
Oh, I love that.
Allies on our journey to wholeness.
Okay, so that's a pretty profound shift in perspective.
It is.
But what does it actually look like?
To treat our bodies as allies.
Yeah, how do we do that?
Well, her advice might surprise you.
Okay. I'm all ears.
She cautions against directing anger toward our bodies.
Even when they're not functioning optimally.
Even then.
Wow.
She compares our bodies to dedicated servants, working tirelessly to maintain our health.
Despite any mistreatment we might inflict upon them.
Right. So no more "I hate my thighs" self-talk.
Got it.
It's about treating our bodies with the same kindness and compassion that we would offer to a cherished friend.
It's like reparenting our bodies.
I love that.
Offering them the love and support they may have lacked.
Beautiful.
And I imagine this shift in attitude can have a really profound impact on our well-being.
Absolutely. Hay acknowledges the role of physicians in medical treatments, but she also emphasizes the power we have to influence our own health.
So it's about becoming active participants in our healing journeys.
Yes, not just passive recipients of care.
I love that. And she encourages us to take responsibility for our health.
In a holistic
By exploring alternative healing modalities.
Yeah.
Learning about nutrition. Making choices that support our overall well-being.
And she stresses the importance of releasing any guilt or shame that we might be carrying around illness.
That's so important.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to fall into the trap of self-blame.
When our bodies aren't functioning as we'd like.
Right. But Hay reminds us that self-love is essential for healing.
Both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. And she offers this really powerful exercise to help us explore our beliefs about health and disease.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
She suggests listing our parents' illnesses,
Right.
followed by our own.
Interesting.
And this can reveal inherited patterns and subconscious beliefs that we might be carrying.
Wow. That's like tracing the lineage of our health patterns.
It is, and it can be really eye-opening
Yeah.
to see those connections.
And then what?
Well, once we've identified those beliefs,
Right.
Hay encourages us to challenge any negative ones that surface
Okay.
and replace them with positive affirmations.
So, for example, if we believe that illness runs in our family,
Yeah,
we might counter that with, I embrace and deserve perfect health now.
exactly.
I love how she empowers us to rewrite the narratives we've inherited
Yes.
about our bodies and our health.
That's the essence of her work.
It's about recognizing the immense power we have
Yeah.
to create the reality we desire.
In our physical bodies and in every other aspect of our lives.
Wow, this deep dive into Louise Hay's world has been so insightful.
It has been, hasn't it?
We've explored her practical exercises, her unique perspective on health, and her overarching message of self-love and empowerment.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
We have.
But it's been a really good start.
It has. And as we move into the final part of our exploration,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how Hay's teachings apply to specific areas of life,
Like what?
like relationships,
Of course.
careers,
Mhm.
finances,
Yeah.
even creativity.
It's one thing to grasp the general principles,
Right.
but I'm really excited to see how they translate into tangible actions and outcomes.
Me too.
Hmm.
Let's continue our journey of discovery in part 3.
All right, so we're back for our final deep dive into the work of Louise Hay.
And today we're really going to connect the dots between her philosophy and how it plays out in real-life situations.
Right, because we've laid a groundwork, with affirmations, self-love, letting go of the past.
All those building blocks.
Exactly, but now it's time to see how they apply to those specific areas of life.
Like careers, friendships, romantic relationships, finances, even creativity.
Yeah, all the good stuff. And, you know, one of the most profound things Hay talks about is this idea of mirroring,
Oh, right.
that the people and experiences we attract are reflections of our own inner world.
Especially in relationships.
Yes, absolutely. If we're constantly attracting toxic friendships or unfulfilling romantic relationships,
It's a sign that something needs to shift internally.
it's not about blaming other people.
Okay.
It's about taking a look at ourselves.
So it's about seeing those relationships as reflections
Hmm.
and asking ourselves what they're revealing about our own beliefs and patterns.
And unmet needs.
Yeah, totally.
For example, if we always seem to end up with partners who are emotionally unavailable,
It could be a sign that we have some deep-seated fears around intimacy.
or if we constantly attract friends who are critical and judgmental.
It might indicate that we have a lot of self-criticism going on internally.
Exactly. And Hay suggests taking some time to reflect on our past friendships,
Okay.
noticing any recurring themes or difficulties.
So looking for patterns.
Yes, and then examining our beliefs about friendship.
Like, do we feel worthy of having good friends?
Yeah, or are there fears or insecurities that might be sabotaging our connections?
And all of this applies to romantic relationships as well.
Of course, because those are often the most intense and challenging relationships we experience,
And Hay believes that they often mirror the dynamics we had with our parents.
which can be really eye-opening to explore.
So, for instance, if we had a parent who was emotionally distant,
We might unconsciously seek out partners who exhibit those same traits.
it's about breaking free from those subconscious patterns
Right.
and making conscious choices to create healthier dynamics.
And that starts with forgiveness.
Okay.
Hay really emphasizes forgiving our parents,
For any hurt or resentment we might be carrying from the past.
because that baggage can really weigh us down
Yeah.
and prevent us from creating the loving relationships we deserve.
And forgiveness is not about condoning those actions,
No, it's about releasing the weight of anger and resentment,
so that we can open our hearts to love.
love for ourselves and love for others.
Okay, so it all comes back to self-love.
Always.
He really stresses that self-love is the foundation for all our relationships.
Because when we genuinely love and accept ourselves,
We attract people who reciprocate that respect and kindness.
it's like we're emitting a certain frequency
Okay.
that draws in those who resonate with our self-worth.
And you know, Hay's teachings go beyond personal relationships too.
Oh, yeah. She has a lot to say about careers and finances as well.
Tell me more.
Well, she views our work as an expression of our creativity
Okay.
and a reflection of our self-worth.
So we deserve to have careers that align with our passions and talents.
Absolutely.
But what if we're stuck in a job we hate?
Well, Hay wouldn't advise staying in a situation that's draining our energy and dimming our spirit.
Right.
But she would encourage us to shift our mindset.
Even if we can't immediately change our circumstances,
Exactly.
we can change our perspective.
Focus on the aspects of your work that bring you even a little bit of joy.
Okay.
Visualize yourself in your dream career.
Experiencing the satisfaction and fulfillment that comes with doing work you love.
And that shift in consciousness can open up new opportunities and pathways that we might not have even imagined.
And then with finances, Hay emphasizes that we can never create prosperity by focusing on lack.
Yeah. No more dwelling on unpaid bills or worrying about scarcity.
Right.
Shift your attention to gratitude.
Appreciating what we already have.
Yes. And visualize yourself as financially abundant.
Feeling the ease and joy that comes with having all your needs met.
It's about cultivating an abundance mindset.
Trusting that the universe is inherently generous and supportive.
And true prosperity encompasses so much more than just money.
Okay.
It's about having an abundance of time and love and health and creativity and fulfillment in all areas of life.
Wow, this deep dive into Louise Hay's work has been truly transformative.
It has.
Her teachings offer such a practical roadmap for creating a life filled with love and joy and purpose.
And her principles can be applied to every single aspect of our existence.
From our relationships, to our careers, to our health, to our finances.
The beauty of her work is its accessibility.
Right, we all have the power to choose our thoughts, to cultivate self-love, and to create the reality we desire.
And whether we're navigating complex relationships or seeking greater peace and fulfillment in our lives,
Hay's teachings provide a beacon of hope.
and a path toward lasting transformation.
That wraps up our deep dive into the world of Louise Hay.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the incredible power within you to create a life you truly love.